My name is David Jaffe. Welcome to the Wealth and Health Podcast, where you'll learn valuable skills and positive habits that will improve your life. This podcast originally aired as a video on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/beststockstrategy. The Wealth and Health Podcast is brought to you by beststockstrategy.com. The FTC has filed a complaint against Chargebacks 911 and Gary Cardone, as well as Monica Eaton. Gary Cardone is Grant Cardone's twin brother, and what the FTC alleges in the complaint is that starting around 2016, Chargebacks 911 has, for numerous clients, used misleading information to contest chargebacks, has routinely submitted screenshots of web pages to support the claim that consumers were informed when they weren't. They also affirmatively edited web page screenshots to add disclosures to the screenshot that did not appear on the underlying web pages. Additionally, from 2013 to 2019, they offered a service value-added promotions where they enabled their clients to run small value transactions to artificially lower a merchant's overall chargeback rate by inflating the total number of transactions run through the merchant's account. 3 of the company's major clients, Apex Capital, AH Media Group, and F9 Advertising, have been sued by the FTC for engaging in deceptive negative option marketing practices. Chargebacks 911 disputed more than 47,000 chargebacks for Apex Capital. Wow. I don't even understand how their payment processor doesn't terminate their service. I know what Chargebacks 911 is doing. They're using those microtransactions in order to decrease their overall dispute percentage, which in and of itself I don't believe is illegal. It might be morally dishonest, but I don't believe that the FTC can actually claim damages from finding a loophole in the system. I think that what the FTC can do, though, is go after Chargebacks 911 for using those fraudulent acceptance of the terms of service and for submitting fraudulent documents to the banks in order to dispute these chargebacks. I do believe that from reading the complaint that the biggest problem that Gary Cardone and Chargebacks 911 has is that they submitted allegedly fraudulent documents to the banks in order to win the chargebacks. I mean, that's a really big deal. Instead of taking screenshots of the actual web pages that a consumer used to make the specific disputed purchase at issue in a chargeback, the Chargebacks 911, the defendants have typically used what it refers to as the merchant's bank page as described below. Chargebacks 911 has been aware that the bank page is not necessarily the actual web page from which the consumer made the disputed purchase. After capturing the representment screenshots from the merchant's bank page, Chargebacks 911 has added markup and call-out boxes highlighting, among other things, where disclosures purportedly are located on the web page. As an example of Chargebacks 911's use of markup and call-out boxes, see Figure A below. For example, in numerous chargeback disputes for AH Media, Chargebacks 911 used web page screenshots from AH Media's bank pages, which included disclosures about the offer's material terms. The screenshot in Figure 8 below depicts a web page that requires consumers to check a box acknowledging disclosure text concerning the subscription offer before proceeding with the transaction. However, here's the actual screenshot, which includes no disclosures about the subscription terms, and consumers do not have to affirmatively acknowledge the terms of the offer before proceeding with the transaction. In thousands of instances, the branding of the product at issue in the chargeback has conflicted with the branding depicted in the representment screenshots. Such conflicts indicate that the merchant may be engaged in a misleading or prohibited practice, such as conducting sales on a different website from the website registered to the merchant account, and accordingly that the representment screenshots may not depict the website that the consumer saw when purchasing the product. Internal emails demonstrate that defendants Gary Cardone and Monica Eaton were aware of the service's true purpose. For example, in May 2016, defendant Gary Cardone wrote to a VAP client, "It looks like you need 6,775 VAP transactions based on current stats at a target chargeback rate of 2.75%. In June 2016, a VAP client asked the Chargebacks 911 employee to initiate VAP transactions at a slow pace. Since it's a bigger order of VAP, can you drip them a little slower to not make it look suspicious? 4 million individual VAP transactions. Wow. Chargebacks 911 typically charge merchants a fee between $1 and $2 per VAP transaction. Altogether, Chargebacks 911 took in more than $6 million from its VAP service. Defendant Gary Cardone co-founded Chargebacks 911 with his wife, defendant Monica Eaton, and he has been CEO of the company since nearly its founding. So count 1 is unfairly injuring consumers by submitting misleading chargeback documentation. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem. Count 2, unfairly injuring consumers by administering a microtransactions service. I think that this is going to be much less of a problem. That's my gut feeling, because I'm not really sure if this is illegal. So count 2, in my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily worry about, although I'm sure that this case is going to get settled anyway, and that Chargebacks 911 and Cardone and Miss Eaton are going to end up just paying a large fine and probably agreeing to some type of injunctive relief. But I don't necessarily think that what they're doing with the microtransactions are illegal. The FTC is claiming that it's in violation of Section 5 of the FTC Act. So my gut feeling is that this case is going to get settled. I think that Chargebacks 911 is going to end up paying a large fine, and then obviously they're going to be enjoined from submitting the microtransactions and also from submitting false and misleading documentation and fraudulent documentation to banks. But besides that, I think that Cardone and his wife, Monica Eaton, are going to end up paying a few $1 million in fines. And I also think that Chargebacks 911 isn't going to be nearly as effective in fighting chargebacks as they were previously. I think that Cardone actually stepped down and he's trying to distance himself from this lawsuit, and he's no longer CEO of the company. But my gut feeling is that this thing gets settled and Chargebacks 911 is not going to be anywhere near as effective as it used to be in fighting chargebacks. And those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments section. Visit beststockstrategy.com and submit your email address to receive valuable free training. Please give this podcast a positive rating and review. If you have any questions, visit beststockstrategy.com and send me a message.